Good morning and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago. Now, we have been chatting virtually with Mr. Reginald McLean, who is the president of the Tobago Hotel and Tourism Association. Welcome back, Mr. McLean.
Thank you. Hopefully, it's also sorted out. We have been speaking constantly that the sector needs $1 billion invested into it. And the budget gives that feeling that some of what we are asking for over the past several months is going to come forward. So we are hopeful that part of the funds will go towards refurbished restaurants, bed and breakfast, villas, hotels, historical attractions, our public facilities, and various beaches where the public facilities are closed, and other locations. Also, some assistance towards the tour operators, the taxis, so that we can get Tobago product to international standards where we previously had it. So we are very hopeful that that's going to work out. So we'll see
Right.
how that progresses.
Do you think that the announcement of, possibly increasing the amount of direct flights from the U.S. to Tobago can help to improve this sector and particularly the hotel sector?
Well, opening up the new airport terminal by the second quarter of next year, which we were hoping by Christmas of this year that it would have been open after the practical completion was launched. That is part of our thrust. And that announcement that they made with growing Tobago's tourism with the direct flights is positive, but also quite big. We are not unsure where these flights are coming from. So we'll work with the THA and we'll work with central government on that. International flights is paramount importance to us to ensure that CAL makes more interline agreements with other airlines. And that is a key thing to move in Tobago forward to. You can't book on certain airlines and get to Tobago because there's no interline agreements. So that has to be dealt with. The domestic air bridge, we understand that there are changes coming, and from what I have heard is positive, as the current systems that we have in place are not quite working to the benefit they go. So we need that. We need other airlines coming in. We don't have enough flights into the island. Realistically, the $50 change fee has to be looked at. The inability to easily cancel a flight on the air bridge is very, very bad, and that needs to be dealt with. And the booking system. Sometimes you could get flights even when online there's none. So we have to look at all of these things to make sure that the new terminal comes in line, that the air bridge is going to work, that CAL is going to get interline agreements with other airlines, and we're going to get other airlines coming in. If you look at the US and Canadian market, predominantly what we need there is 2 flights a week out of each areas, because the US market, the vacations are a lot shorter, and having 1 flight a week is not very conducive to doing business with Tobago. Whereas Europe on a whole, the vacations are a week and 2 weeks and more. So we have to look at that, and we have to look at other where we could get flights in easily. And we have to get Caribbean, which is our airline, to build our Trinidad and Tobago tourism product before concentrating on all the other islands to build their products. So put Trinidad and Tobago first, Tobago ahead, because Trinidad gets a lot of flights into Piarco Airport, unlike Tobago. So airlift is a major concern to us.
Understood. And you spoke a bit in at the early parts of our discussion on that infrastructural investment within the sector. But let's chat a bit about increasing the quality of the service, to enhance the overall industry.
So our hotel school here, the Tobago Hospitality and Tourism Institute, is doing a very good job, but they're limited on what they can do. We need to really look at education in tourism and the benefits of tourism, etc., and about service into our school primary level, and start teaching our young ones so that by the time they're ready to graduate, they can make a good decision to go into tourism or something within the hospitality field. So education is paramount importance when dealing with this. And that all the way into the service that you get, because you go to KFC, Royal Castle, anywhere, it's a service industry. And it's almost like you're doing a favor to them by going in. So a lot of these things have to be upgraded and to give the customer a positive experience. So it has to happen earlier on in school.
Yeah, understood. And when we talk about overall overhaul of the industry, we've heard the minister talking about having those investments in those new accommodations, such as the Elephant Tree Hotel and the Marriott, and bringing those brand names to the island. Do you think that this will also help to enhance the product of the overall tourism product, or more attention needs to be placed on, upgrading what is already in existence?
It's a two-pronged thing. New project are longer to get established. You have to build it. You have the approval process. All these things. So new projects, Elephant Tree with the Hilton Hotel that is under construction, that, that's not going to be ready until I think 2 more years. And the pending Marriott Hotel, those are again the bureaucracy in doing things with the approvals is not good. It just takes too long, and there's great hindrance. We did not hear anything on the repeal of or change of the foreign investment, which is the Land Act. This needs to be done. Um, but again, we have a lot of things that we have to look at with that. You have the existing plant in Tobago that needs upgrading, and this is where that $1 billion I have been speaking about for months and months now comes into play. All the hotels in Tobago need upgrading, and that is the quickest way for us to get our room stock back in order, back to international standards, and to make it a lot easier for our care on the island to be accessible to the rest of the world. So we have to make sure that we go to that and deal with that. Um, that's they talk about the low hanging fruit, getting our product that exists now back into international standards is the low fruit, and that is going to allow for our easy diversification. The US dollars, the pounds, the euros, the foreign currency that we need so desperately need in the island. That's the low hanging fruit that we're talking.
Excellent. And finally, even as we round up the discussion this morning, let's touch a bit on the marketing, the overall marketing of the island in different markets. What type of investment do you think is needed to ensure that effective marketing is done in those different, whether it be the European market, the U.S. market, Asia, Africa? What do you think needs to be done to boost the marketing in these areas?
I came into Piarco Airport on
Seem to have frozen again there. Guys, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back right after this. See you soon.